I'm installing pavements and street lamps at Evanston on my N-scale model railroad. Let's go trackside and I will show you how I am doing it. I'm Roy Smith. Thanks for joining me today. You're watching episode number 20 in the Evanston Renovation series. If you haven't seen the previous 19 episodes, I will put a link down below that will take you to the entire series. I hope you find the techniques that I'm about to share with you in this episode to be useful as you work on your own layout. I also hope that you will subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't done it yet. Okay, let's begin. Just as soon as this eastbound intermodal train passes through Evanston. I am going to be working on the area around the machine shop, which is one of three primary structures in my compressed version of the railroad complex at Evanston, Wyoming. You will recall that the Union Pacific turned the railroad complex over to the city of Evanston in the early 1970s, and the city is renovating the structures in the complex for use in public events and city office space. This is the machine shop at Evanston. I want to capture the feel of the landscape around this structure, but as always, a lack of space on my layout prevents me from replicating it exactly. First, I am going to pave the plaza at the entrance to the machine shop. I have used a pencil to mark the shape of the plaza. I'm using sidewalk sheet styrene to pave the plaza. This is what the plaza looks like on the prototype. Before cutting the styrene, I am test fitting two Woodland Scenics just plugged lamp posts that I went to install here to see how they will fit the space. I will also be planting some small ornamental trees in the plaza. Now I have cut out the shape of the plaza. And it seems to fit okay. I have also cut out a sidewalk for the other side of the machine shop. I will be planting shrubs in this small area along the building foundation. I have already given the plaza a base coat of paint. I have drilled holes where I plan to install the lamp posts, and now I'm cutting out planting areas for the trees. I should have done this before applying the base coat of paint, but it doesn't matter. I can easily touch it up. I am sanding the edges where I cut out spaces to plant trees. I could have used one of those fancy sanding sticks like real model railroaders use, but I'm just a regular guy model railroader. So I'm using an emery board, I guess it's what they're called, that I got from my wife. Now I'm dry brushing the styrene with a concrete colored paint. I'm dry brushing it on so that it doesn't totally obscure the expansion joints in the concrete. All right, it's time to install those lamp posts. Woodland Scenics lamp posts have these hair-thin wires that are very, very hard to see, even when I use my optical visors. The gooseneck lamps you saw me install on the side of the roundhouse back at the beginning of August have the same kind of wires. And the hair-thin wires are also difficult to insert into these linkers that in turn are connected to light hubs under the layout. These hair-thin wires are the one part of the Woodland Scenics just plugged lighting system that I really don't like. Okay, jumping ahead, you can see that I have finished installing the plaza and the sidewalk on the other side of the machine shop, 3 lamp posts, and 2 wooden pole lamps. I have also installed the 3-piece power pole set that my friend Chris Perry in New Zealand made and sent to me. I will show you the power poles up closer in a minute. I have also created a small parking area on the right side of the machine shop. This is a pitiful representation of the 2 enormous parking lots in the railroad complex at Evanston. Here are some closer views. First, the plaza area of the machine shop. You can see the ornamental trees that I planted. I have ordered some strip styrene so that I can finish the plaza, as well as some park benches and picnic tables to put in the plaza. Except for the concrete, none of these things that I have done in this episode are glued permanently in place just yet. I like to be sure before gluing things in place permanently. And here's a close-up of the power poles that Chris made. You will recall that Chris sent me a package containing these 3 power poles at the end of July. You saw me open the package that he sent. Chris's ability to work with small detailed items always amazes me. Now I have dimmed the room lighting for an overview of the railroad complex at dawn. In an upcoming episode, I will apply ground covers and vegetation in this scene. After that, I can move on to other projects in the Evanston area of my layout. I hope you will stay with me as I continue to work on the Evanston scene, because there's nothing better than sharing the hobby with you. With that in mind, there are tons of other videos for you to watch right here on this channel. I will put a link to my videos page down below, as well as a link to the Evanston Renovation series. You can go directly to the Evanston Renovation series just by clicking over here. Thanks again for joining me today. I'm Roy Smith. Until next time, happy railroading.